I don't know if you're already using Codex, but I'm guessing not, and that's exactly what you're here. So let's get straight into it. Today I'll show you 3 ways to use Codex, what makes it different from other AI agents like Cursor or Copilot. This is so important, so you want to stick around for this. And lastly, we'll look at how to integrate Codex into your workflow. So let's get started. Codex is OpenAI's assistant and it was launched in May 2025. It's currently available for all ChatGPT Plus and Pro subscribers. So to access Codex, you go over to openai.com/codex. And what I love about Codex is its flexibility. It works in 3 different ways. You can use it in your terminal using the CLI command right here. You can use it in your IDE, so whatever IDE you're using, whether it's VS Code, Cursor, you can use Codex right there. And you can also use Codex on the web. So there's Codex Web or Codex Cloud, and we're going to walk through each one step by step. Let's start with the first option, which is using Codex right in your terminal. So you have the CLI right here. So I copy this and I go over to my terminal, which is this terminal in VS Code, and I'm just going to run this command. I use pnpm, so I'm just going to change this to pnpm. This command installs Codex globally into your system. So run the command. Once Codex is installed, now you can run Codex to open up the interactive terminal user interface. So I'm going to skip this. And this is the interactive terminal interface that Codex gives you. And this is where you can ask Codex to, this is where you can use natural language to prompt Codex. So this code base is my code base for my freelance and career coaching website. So whatever code base you are, this is where you can begin to prompt Codex. Let's say you're interested in building a new page on your website or whatever task at all you have for Codex. This is right where you add it in. So for me, I want to build a LinkedIn webinar page in this project. So this is the prompt I sent to Codex in the terminal, and I just run it. Let's see how long Codex would take to build this out. You can see that it's telling you every single thing that it's doing. Is accessing the page or the project structure, is reading the styles to know what kind of styles I'm using, and it's going to set up the entire page for me. This is the same workflow to follow whenever you're using Codex in your terminal. I'm going to give Codex some time to complete the building of this page and come back to you when it's done. So Codex is finally done. You can see right here that it took quite a while to complete this. It worked on building this page for 4 minutes 42 seconds. That's nearly 5 minutes. Personally, that's quite long. So let's check out what it has built. Okay, so I have my LinkedIn webinar page right here, and I have the webinar component right here. So let's actually launch this out and see it in the browser. This is the page Codex just built for me from the terminal, the command line interfaces, and it definitely looks good. So you can go ahead to use Codex to build out your pages, web applications, or do whatever thing at all using natural language. Moving over to the second way of using Codex, this is using Codex in your IDE as an extension. So I'm using VS Code and I'm going to be installing the Codex extension right here. On extensions menu, search for Codex. So you see the extension right here, and I'm just going to install it. So right now Codex has been installed into my VS Code and I can get started with it. I noticed this icon right here, so I can open Codex on the sidebar panel. This right here is Copilot, so I have Copilot also installed, but that's not the focus for this video. So we can minimize this, and right here, this is Codex. So these are some of the previous prompts that I had in Codex. I can create a new chat, which is what I want. So click on new chat. This is exactly how to use the Codex extension in your IDE. Again, so you have a chat interface for you to begin to prompt Codex however you want. Remember the LinkedIn webinar page that we built earlier from the CLI? We're going to build on that. So just go over to my pages. So I see LinkedIn webinar. I'll go to the hero. Now I can tell you to add a section to the LinkedIn webinar page that mentions what attendees will benefit. 3 benefits. So send that in, whatever prompt you have. Looking around, I can see that Codex is working on the local workspace. We can switch the mode from agent to chat. Generally love using the agent mode. In terms of the model, this is using the GPT-5 Codex Max model. I'll definitely want to explore the GPT-5 This is a new model, so I'll be exploring this later on. You can explore it as well, and you can select the reasoning efforts also. For this, the reasoning efforts is medium by default. You can select high or extra high reasoning efforts. Another thing you can do when you're using the Codex chat is to attach screenshots. So if you have an image of what exactly you want, you can always add in the image to add more context to your prompting. Alright, so the Codex extension just finished working. It's added the benefits section and I can check it out. So this is it, and this is the section what you walk away with. You notice that it has added everything, but you can definitely still go back to the chat to a prompt to tell it to add in some spacing. This is the usual workflow when you're using a coding assistant. You probably need to prompt it over and over again till you get your required results. The third way to use Codex is using the Codex Cloud through ChatGPT, and I found out that this is the easiest way to use Codex to work on repositories, run tasks, and even create pull requests. So let's access Codex Cloud. So go over to your ChatGPT. On the sidebar, you'll see Codex. So this takes you straight to the Codex Cloud. Now, the first thing you want to do is to connect to your GitHub. So click on Connect GitHub right here and continue. So my GitHub is now connected, and obviously I can pick the repository that I want this to work on. I have TFH site, which is the repository of the project that I'm already working on. If you don't see any repositories come up, then you want to configure the repositories on GitHub first and give it the scope of all the repos that Codex should be able to access. I have the TFH site repository right here connected to Codex. So this is where you want to connect any repo that you want Codex to have access to. You can also select the branch that you want Codex to work on, whereas the main branch, in my case, I wanted to work on this LinkedIn demo branch. So I select it. And in terms of version, I only want Codex to come up with one version for now. Once you've selected the repo and the branch that you want Codex to have access to, you can definitely start prompting it to give it the task that you want it to do. So in my case, I want Codex to create a PR to the main branch. So I want it to create a PR to the main branch. So I send this in. One of the things I found out about the Codex Cloud is that it's sometimes buggy, right? It takes a lot of time to work on tasks, and even right now, it's just crashed on me. You saw that, right? So let's click in to see the progress. So I click into this and we can view the log. This opens an interface for prompting and an interface for previewing what has been done. Codex worked for almost 3 minutes 30 seconds. It made a few tweaks to the code, which you can see right here in the div tab, and you can also see everything you did in the logs tab. So all you need to do is to create a PR, and once you click on create PR, it instantly links to your GitHub repository and creates a PR for you. So you can view your PR. This is the PR that Codex just created. You can definitely change this to the main branch if you want. It has some summary. You can assign someone to the PR, and this is exactly what you would have done manually, and this is awesome. So let's go to the big question. How is Codex different from other AI agents and coding assistants that you're already familiar with? I would say one of the biggest things that make Codex stand out for me is the flexibility. The fact that you have more than one way to use it. You can use it in the CLI, in your IDE as an extension, and even the Codex Cloud. Unlike other coding assistants that restrict you to the IDE, Codex is a lot more flexible, and this is a plus. Codex also runs your command for you. It can fix errors, it can review a code base, it can create a PR, and this is also very useful. Personally, I find Codex very useful for code cleanups, for making adjustments and tweaks to an already existing code base. But if I want to build out anything from scratch, I'm still likely going to use my Copilot or Cursor to do this. Codex right now is also a bit slow when compared to other AI agents that I've tried, right? It takes a bit of time to really put all the pages and all the components together and even carry out any task at all. And when using Codex Cloud, a lot of times it crashed on me and I had to refresh or restart the task all over again. And honestly, I can live with this because Codex already comes with my ChatGPT Plus subscription and I don't have to pay anything extra to access it. So let me know, have you been using Codex? What's your experience been like using it? And if you're not using it already, do you think it's a tool that you'd be willing to try out? Thanks for watching this video and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the like, comment and subscribe to my channel. My name is Esther and on this channel I teach you how to use AI tools to build faster and work smarter. I'll see you in the next one.